Hi there, Jamie Rauch with Usborne Books and More here, also known as the Book Monster Mama. And I am here to talk to you about some of our amazing fiction. So first off, I would like to ask, are you a fact person or are you a fiction person? I love reading facts and I love learning, especially about subjects that I'm passionate about, but I'm typically a fiction person. You might see back here that I've got quite a bit of fiction over here because I tend to just love the stories. I love wizards and dragons and vampires and stuff that's pretty far out there. So to kick things off with our fiction, we have That's Not My Puppy. These are super cute, and they're fantastic for teaching your infants to enjoy reading. You can start them off really young. The pictures are super high contrast with very simple black lines, which are easy for an infant to track. And it's a touchy-feely book. So That's Not My Puppy. Its ears are too shaggy. I don't have an infant, so I haven't actually read this one all the way through. So he's got really, check out how shaggy those ears are. It's crazy. So That's Not My Puppy. Next up, we have Muddle and Match. This one is a huge hit in my house. Check out all those tabs. It's crazy. So Muddle and Match is phenomenal for your children who are learning to read. So Monkey starts with M, for instance. So if by some miracle you can manage to get your child to build the animal correctly, the story on the left-hand side when you're reading it is going to actually use that letter sound an awful lot. So Marvin, the mighty monkey, moves toward the mark on the map to meet the mysterious magical meerkat. So this is phenomenal for teaching your children letter sounds. Coming up next, Usborne has some fantastic illustrated fairy tales. I love these. The pictures are just glorious. They're so beautiful, so beautiful. My 6-year-old and my 6-year-old boy and I thoroughly enjoyed checking out the illustrations, reading the story, and then at the very back of each one of the fairy tales, there's a little bit of history, a little folklore info, and it also tells you which particular version this fairy tale was based on. Up next, these are some of my very favorites. We have Billy B. Brown and Hey Jack. There are a ton of books in these series, and I can't recommend enough that you just buy the whole set because they're phenomenal, and you're going to want them all. Jack shows up in Billy's books, and Billy shows up in Jack's books. They are best friends. Neither book is very gender specific, but they're phenomenal for helping a child learn to recognize certain feelings and the physical symptoms that come with certain feelings. For instance, we read The Worry Monsters, and Jack learned to recognize what worry feels like, what stress feels like, and anxiety, and how to cope with it. So phenomenal. Hey Jack and Billy B. Brown. Next, I loved Penny Dreadful. She is hysterical. Feels like you're talking to a nattery 7-year-old. It is so much fun. So we have quite a few books in this series as well. Each book is actually 3 stories combined into one volume. And what I love about this is each story, as you're reading it, you're going to see where it's got words that are in bold letters. So throughout the story, you're going to see those particular bolded letters throughout that particular story, and it's going to help the reader learn to recognize context and learn what the word means through reading it in context. Again, Penny Dreadful, these are phenomenal. These are brand new and so good. I have the first 2 books here of the Impossible Quest series. They just came out in January and so good. This one we have not been able to put down. We're not quite done with it yet. However, it is so good. It's about a scullery boy and a squire and a young witch and then a young lady who it kind of takes place sort of in your Elizabethan times, but it's totally fiction. So it's like, imagine what it would feel like. Yeah. There's a little bit of a zombie type thing going on. Like, we haven't been able to figure out exactly what's going on, but there's fog and creepy creatures. Very good. This one's geared for about 9 and up. And last but not least, we're getting into our young adult stuff. We have The Sword of Kuramori, The Shield of Kuramori, and there's another one coming out that I don't know the title of yet, but I can't wait for it to come out. So we just finished The Sword of Kuramori. I should say I did, because this is not one I would recommend for younger kids, because there's a few fairly violent scenes in there. Again, it's totally okay. They're not super scary, but it was pretty dark for your younger kids. We've got Kenny, who is in Japan. He just came there to visit his dad, and he finds out that he's the chosen one. Of course, that's how many of these books start, right? So Kenny has to learn how to wield a sword, how to use magic. He's got to fight a dragon, And so good. So good. He fights demons. He fights vampires. He's got friendly demons. Really, really good. Highly recommend it. So that is our fabulous fiction. Thank you so much for checking it out and have a fantastic day.